friends, this video on motion in a plane part 16 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Please make sure that you have watched all the videos from part 1 to 15 before going ahead with part 16. Now when I talk of instantaneous acceleration, we apply the same concept which we applied for instantaneous velocity. So we can say that instantaneous acceleration is basically the value of acceleration at a particular instant of time. So we can say that it is basically the value of average acceleration when delta t tends to 0. That means when delta t, the time intervals, becomes almost 0, then we say that acceleration is instantaneous acceleration. So we can write down that instantaneous acceleration is limit delta t tends to 0 average acceleration, which can be written as limit delta t tends to 0 delta v by delta t, or this can be written as dv by dt. So this is how we define instantaneous acceleration. Now let us look at the following graphs to understand things in a better way, that what happens when the time interval is reduced gradually. Let us see that we have got three graphs here. So let us say at the first one, in case of the first one, we consider 2 points, say P1 and P2 in this way. So in this case, what happens? What would be the average acceleration at this point of time? The instantaneous acceleration is V1. At this point of time, the instantaneous acceleration is V2. So therefore, if we plot it in this way, this is V1, this is V2, so this is delta V, right? So therefore, the direction of acceleration is this. Now let us suppose we reduce the time interval. Let us suppose that the starting point or the first position which we consider is P1, and the next position which we consider is P2. Somewhat at this point. So the velocity will be in this direction. In this case, the velocity would be in this direction. So here again, you draw it in this way. This is V1. Again, this is V2. So you find the direction as delta V. So your direction becomes somewhat like this. So the acceleration's direction. Now here let us suppose we reduce the time interval to 0. Delta t we make it as 0. So if I say that the particle is at this point P1, that means it will not move to any other point P2, because we are not considering any other point. So at this point, the direction of velocity would be tangential. So I'm sorry, I'm not very good at drawing, but tangential would mean somewhat along this direction. So you ignore this direction. So tangential would mean somewhere along this direction. So what would be the direction of acceleration? Acceleration can be at any angles with this velocity at this point. So that means the acceleration can be somewhere around this direction. So the instantaneous acceleration, when I talk of the direction of instantaneous acceleration, basically the instantaneous acceleration can make any angle with the instantaneous velocity starting from 0 to 180 degrees. So it can make any angle with the velocity depending on the value of the velocity which is given. So I hope it is clear to you now that what is acceleration, how do you calculate average and instantaneous acceleration, what is the difference between the two of them, how do you know the direction of average and instantaneous acceleration. Fine. Now let us go ahead and see how do we represent instantaneous acceleration in component form. So as we already saw that instantaneous acceleration is represented as, or it is defined as, limit delta t tends to 0 delta v by delta t. Right? This is how you define instantaneous acceleration, because this is your average acceleration, right? So this you can write it as limit delta t tends to 0. Now by definition of delta v, you can write delta v xi cap plus delta vy j cap. This divided by delta t. So you can write limit delta t tends to 0, delta vx by delta t I cap plus limit delta t tends to 0, delta vy by delta t j cap. So this you can write it as, what is this? Limit delta t tends to 0, delta vx by delta t. This is nothing but dvx by dt I cap. Similarly, this value is nothing but dvy by dt j cap. So what is dvx by dt? It is nothing but instantaneous acceleration along x-axis. Similarly, dvy by dt is nothing but instantaneous acceleration along y-axis. So we say that instantaneous acceleration can be represented in terms of its components along x and y axis respectively, that is ax and ay. So now if I talk of magnitude of instantaneous acceleration, what would be the magnitude? The magnitude would be equal to root over ax square plus ay square. Now what would be the direction? The direction would be given by tan theta is equal to ay by ax. So this would represent the magnitude and direction of instantaneous acceleration. Okay, so now that we are very clear with the velocity, acceleration, displacement and position vectors, we will look at certain problems to have a clearer understanding of whatever we have studied, right? So before proceeding into further topics, we will look into certain numericals. Thank you. Please visit examfear.com to watch free educational videos, try free online tests, get the best quality study materials, study from the best tutors and mentors, and much more. Thank you once again.